Okay, welcome everyone. It has been a long and grueling season. We have come out with a champion, which is Jota, of course. But last season it was Den Mirison, and he was the focus. He was the winner. So Den and Jota are both on the same team and are both just phenomenal drivers in every single race they've been in. And we're going to make them fight each other. Let's see who's faster. So this is a race for the title of the world's fastest driver, which currently is held by Den. So this will be a two-race event with just two drivers, so no one else to interfere. Both drivers will compete for round one using their championship car, and then they will swap cars for round two. So this way, if one car is significantly faster, it's not unfair. Both drivers will be using the faster of the two cars if there is, for whatever reason, a tie. So if, let's say, Solid Muscle is just better for this track, better at drifting, and it wins both races, in the last round, both drivers would be in Solid Muscle. So that way, it does come down to the individual driver's skill rather than the car itself. We can see here Den has just taken off. Twin Wheel is a bit faster, but it's just a little less desirable in the corners, in my opinion. So it really is down to anyone for this. And you can see they're both using their Accelerator livery, which is what they have now that they have become an Accelerator for winning the event. Ooh, and Den is off twice. That is unfortunate. He is so far behind. As I said, Solid Muscle is just so much better in the corners, so it's not going to fly off as easily as Twin Mill does, but it does. Twin Mill is faster in the straight, so you can see it's quickly closing the gap that it has lost in falling off there. Oh! Out of nowhere, Den has taken the lead again. All that straighter section really helped him catch up, and as I said, he closed that gap quite easily. And now Jota's going to come through another straighter section, but he just doesn't have as much speed. It looks like he's just taken it so smoothly though, and quickly gotten ahead. Den's taken that lead back. This is really anyone's race. These guys have swapped positions quite a few times, and it is just coming down to, it looks like Den is holding the lead for the majority of the time. Oh, and Jota has hit the wall and spun himself out. That's pretty race ending this late in the track. They are 65% of the way through it, and Den is just pulling away. So it's going to take a pretty significant mistake from Den, or just the fact that this is just a better section for Solid Muscle to perform in. Ooh, did Den hit the inside wall there? He seemed to be going a bit too tight. It is going to take some effort for Jota to catch up, especially now that we're getting into another fast-paced section of the track. So again, Twin Mill just does have the advantage here in these straighter sections. But Jota is not messing around. He is catching up super well, and he's actually putting a bit of a fight into it. Oh, that was cutting it close. I don't think he could have cut that corner any tighter without hitting it. Oh, here we go. He's actually got a shot at him on this last corner. Jota's got the inside. Bit of a lag spike there. And they finished almost side by side. A 2:22.58 was Den's time for that one. And he does take the first win. He only needs one more to defend his title. Here we go. They're swapping cars now. And they've gone from their Accelerator livery to their Syndicate liveries. Just to, sort of showcase where they've come from, as teammates. Not just rivals as, extremely fast drivers, but also teammates. And Twin Mill is faster off the line here, so it does look like that Jota might have a chance. Now, this won't be, an exact repeat, because, these guys are not used to these cars. Like, Den is used to Twin Mill. He has a lot of experience in it, and Jota has a lot of experience with Solid Muscle. Swapping cars really means that they've got to try and learn a new car on the fly, or in whatever time they've had to practice leading up to this event, and are now trying to fight each other in opposite cars. And it looks like Den has just been left behind. So used to Den being in the Twin Mill, it does get a little confusing when they swap cars. Den is so far back right now, we can't even see any sign of Jota. Jota's going to be able to get away with a mistake with how far ahead he has gotten. Especially when Den crashes like that. Oh no. Now, we are only watching these from the trailing car. It's just, usually it's more exciting. You can usually see both cars when you're watching it from the trailer car, so we will be watching all these videos from the trailing car, which is why we have so much footage of just Den driving by himself here. We could always swap over to Jota, but it wouldn't be much, there wouldn't be much else to watch other than just someone going as fast as they can. We actually would have seen Jota does have a wipeout towards the end of this race, but this one's already over. There is such a just huge gap between these two drivers, and this one is actually a race for Jota, so we will miss out on seeing him crash by himself, but we do get to watch Den crash by himself instead, which happens a couple more times than it does for Jota. So yeah, it seems that out of these two, Twin Mill seems to be the better car, at least for this track, and they will be in the finale. The tiebreaker will be Den vs Jota in Twin Mill. That way no one's got the disadvantage of being in solid muscle, which appears, I'm not saying it's worse, but it appears to be not as prime for this track out of these two cars, which is surprising considering this is a drift focused track and solid muscle seems to be a more drift focused car. The big concern we have going into the last race with both of them being in Twin Mill, look at that, Jota's already finished, there he is. The big concern we have is that Den is obviously more experienced than the Twin Mill, so he has the upper hand going into this last race. They are tied. Jota's Jota's final time was not as fast as Den's with that 2:22, so being more than a second slower. So that is the difference between what we can expect out of these two cars. There should be about a second of difference between them, unless Jota can pull off some good cornering and just not make as many mistakes as he did in that last race. Side by side into this corner, look at this. These cars are so evenly matched. I'm assuming they've both gone with the same version, because they could have, one Super Treasure Hunt, one Legendary, but I'm pretty sure they've both gone with the Legendary. And again, I'm no expert on which one has boost bar and which one doesn't, and what the stat differences are. But I can assure you that these guys from Syndicate would be, they're both off, but Den is so much faster on the reset. He recognised the problem way quicker and got that reset. He's bumped himself off to the side though. A little bit of push and shove, and Jota has taken the lead for the first time properly in this final race. Den has a bit of catching up to do, and he doesn't have the speed advantage that he had in the first race, so he is just going to have to outdrive Jota if he wants a chance at actually beating him. Ooh, he closed so much of the gap between them just in that cornering and boosting there. He's definitely a little more refined in knowing how to take these corners in Twin Mill. It's just a matter of, is it enough to make a difference? Which one is the better driver? Jota gets a little bit of air there. It's so dangerous being side by side with someone here. Unfortunately, both these drivers are just really good and generally won't take each other off the map, even if they do get under each other or on top of each other. Den is just pulling away now, so Jota has fallen back a little bit. Oh no, Den's gone too wide, and he has hit that wall. Oh, and he didn't reset very quickly. It's taken him some time to actually hit that reset button, thinking he could salvage it, which actually ends up costing more time. It's usually better off to just reset. If you don't land facing the right way, just reset. There's no point wasting your time turning around. Jota has a massive lead here. I don't know if Den can close it with less than 20% of the track to remain, but he's going to cut every corner as tight as he can to try and get there. Ooh, that one was pretty close to, not as close as Jota's was on that first lap, but it was still pretty close to hitting the wall. No sign of Jota coming into this last corner. He's just crossed the line, and Den comes in with another 222, but it's not enough. Jota's 219. That is an insane time, and we have ourselves a new fastest driver in the world. Congratulations, Jota, and we look forward to seeing you defend your title